So after video 1, this is video 2. I am not going to show y'all how to do all the calculations because I feel like y'all can do it yourself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a problem that everyone has been asking me during office hours last night from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Now I felt bad, so I started looking over the problem and I finally figured out how to do it. Anyways, so this is from fall 2014, part 2, problem 1, part D. I know that's a mouthful. Anyways, let me start showing you the know-hows of how to do it, and everyone's going to do the rest of the algebra for me, right? Yeah. So we know that what's going on is that we're trying to calculate the basically quantity discount. We're trying to get Q1, P1 from stage 1, Q1 and P2 in stage 2, assuming that we're offering a discount for people who purchase a certain amount of goods. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out what that discount is. So jumping from P1 to P2, and at what quantity do they jump? And what is the total quantity that we sell at Q1 and at Q2? All right? So from video 1, I showed y'all that we are attempting to find the residual demand, right? Well, this one's kind of similar. First, we have our original demand, and I want to rewrite this to make it more simple. So I'll get 40 minus 10 QH, right? Marginal cost is equal to average cost is equal to 4. That implies that there is no fixed cost. All right? Okay, so first of all, I want to specify that when we're talking about willingness to pay, when it's greater than P1, when I'm willing to pay more than P1 and you offer me P1, I'm going to take it and I'm going to buy it. So everyone with a willingness to pay that's greater than P1 will have already purchased their good in stage 1. However, if their willingness to pay is less than or equal to P1, then they're going to be part of the residual demand. Yeah? So let's recap. Last time, I showed y'all that we have Q in dollars here, and we have demand, we have marginal revenue, and let's just say we have marginal cost. If we set our current price at P bar, whatever it may be, in the second stage, P bar, as you can see, will be the new intercept for the demand curve, and it will be, well, for the y-axis at least, and it will be the new y-intercept for the marginal revenue curve, which has half the slope of the demand curve. Cool? So first I want to calculate the marginal revenue. Well, I want to find the marginal revenue in stage 2 because I can easily find the marginal revenue in stage 1. What I'm interested in is finding the marginal revenue in stage 2. As I know, in stage 1, I'm charging P1 bar. So that's going to be the y-intercept as shown here. Subtracted by, we know that the slope of the original demand curve is negative 10. So this has double the slope. It'll be negative 20 Q2. And the reason why it's Q2 is because we're working with quantity 2 in the second stage. And I want to set that equal to 4, which is the marginal cost, because we know that in stage 2 or stage 1, the marginal cost is constant at 4. And if this is the case, we set MR is equal to MC in order to profit maximize, then we get that. Now, since I told you earlier, I'm not going to do your algebra for you. So if you start manipulating the functions, you'll eventually get Q2 is equal to 1 over 20 P1 bar minus 4. Yeah? Okay, now I want to find the demand curve. I know that the demand curve is basically P2 is equal to something. Well, I know that the y-intercept for the demand curve in stage 2 is just P1 bar because of what I showed you. And I know that the slope is still negative 10. So that means that the quantity is Q2 because we're working with, again, quantities in stage 2. So when you take Q2 equals something in terms of P1, and then you plug it into this Q2 instead to make it Q2 in terms of P1, and then you simplify. You get P2 is equal to 1/2 P bar 1 plus 2. Now you have everything you need to profit maximize, because we know that if we are profit maximizing, we have maximized profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. What is total revenue? It's P1 Q1 plus P2 Q2 minus marginal cost, which is 4, times Q2 plus Q1. Right? Now we know that P2 and Q2 can be in terms of P1 because of this and because of this. Q2 is expressed in terms of P1 here. P2 is expressed in terms of P1 here. So we can easily plug and chug into that. And then after that, we also know that Q1 can be expressed in terms of P1 from what we have originally. We know that the original like Q1 can be expressed in terms of P1 from the original demand curve. So we would just plug that in for all the Q1s. And then we'll have everything in terms of P1. And what we would do next is we would just partial profit over partial P1, set that equal to 0. And then we should be able to get a certain value for P1. And then we'd be able to, after we get our P1 value, we can find our Q1 value. If we get our Q1 value, we can plug in P1 here and P1 here to find P2 and Q2, and then we'll get all of our answers. Everything works out for quantity discount. And that is how you do quantity discount. If any of you have any questions, please email me or please text me. But also let me know that you've already watched my video, because otherwise I'll just direct you to my video. Thank you.